Welcome to the Overtime Champions Season 5. This is the Europe PC semi-pro matches for tonight. We have Volatile eSports versus Abusement Park. I'll be your play-by-play caster Cloudburst, and joined with me on color is Toadette. How are you doing tonight?
I'm fine. I'm excited for the matches against Volatile and Abusement Park. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well myself, thank you very much, and I hope all of our viewers and the teams playing are doing great too. Moving into this one, the forced map pool for Season 5 is Ilias, Gibraltar, and then Kings Row. It should be quite exciting. Different map types coming in from there. What can you tell me about those going forward over there, Toadette?
About the maps, you mean?
Yeah, just a quick overview.
Ilias, of course, boop map, hopefully. I hope we'll see some nice boops from Orisa and Roadhog and Lucio. That's what I'm expecting. About the other maps, like Kings Row, you know, everyone likes Kings Row somehow. Not really my favorite map. We've seen it too much. What do you think about the map pool?
Myself, I quite like them. It gives us quite a broad aspect between the different playstyles that people can bring into it. Of course, Ilias being the king of the hill map, going into that one. As you said, a lot of chances for environmental kills on certain parts of that map there, as well as different aspects of it, like the one that we're looking at right now. Environmental kills throughout the whole outside of the area, but it's also very contained inside. So ultimates that AoE-based ultimates are very impactful. And if we look at the other parts of the map, we have a giant crater, well, it's a giant wall in the middle. Once again, also a lot of environmental kill potential, which is always super exciting. And then, of course, the last one going into that is a sunken point, which often changes the dynamic that people have to play at because of the angles. Gibraltar, of course, over there as a escort map. Fantastic to see, lots of different winding areas, sightlines, a lot of verticality as well, which is quite similar to the hybrid map on Kings Row, lots of verticality moving forward. So, of course, we're on Ilias now, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, and as we are moving in and we look at the red team, Abusement Park, and what did I say? Roadhog, Orisa, Lucio. I'm excited for this map, but it looks like that Volatile is thinks we don't need those picks. We're gonna win without the environmental kills.
Yeah, we can definitely see a lot of confidence coming from there with their team comp, especially with the Reinhardt and the Zarya in the front, which are moving quite far forward, and no picks just yet. However, Glovebox has changed that with a lovely pick onto Niffle. However, that has been nullified by the res, but with the res down, Drunk Soup is just taking things away on the fire there from the skies. Really great coming into that, and right now, Volatile.
And nobody on the point yet, which is strange because it's been unlocked for a while now. And with that being said, Abusement Park moves in and takes the first flip on the point.
Yeah, Abusement Parking actually looking pretty strong here, not really getting in any environmental kills, but their playstyle definitely working in their favor here against Volatile eSports.
Oh, and with that being said, Jorgensen getting the kill on Big Boy. It looks like that Team Volatile really needs to do something about them Fire and Mercy, because they're just damaging from the sky.
Yeah, you can see they tried that with Chico changing over to the McCreebus, not quite working for them. We do have Meteoroid charging in there now, but a supercharger is coming out from Keith. Can he keep it together? Here's a Gravitron for Volatile, and they're picking players up left, right, and center with no other ultimates used there other than the Valkyrie. That is fantastic from them. KNF is going to be having a Dragon Strike up soon, possibly for the next fight.
Yeah, but with Niffle using his Graviton Slurs, there's no option for comboing it unless you want to combo it with the Shatter. Looking on the side of Abusement Spark, we see Drunken Soup with a nice Rocket Barrage and Glovebox with his Sound Barrier just now coming up.
Yeah, Drunken Soup and Sound Barrier could work very well with the Rocket Barrage coming off the top, keeping them alive, but KNF picking off Keith though is not looking very good for their front line, and Meteoroid taking out the Annihilator as well. This is a bit of a struggle for them, actually.
Yeah, it's definitely, the struggle is definitely on the side of Abusement Spark, with them being one person down, but taking them, I am a Mercy main down. Nice shot from Dice on the Widowmaker.
And then Drunken Soup following that up with another kill onto Chico. This is allowing them a lot of space to go forward, and Drunken Soup is going to be looking for some more kills here, but can he get them? Yes, he does. KNF goes down, but here's an Earth Chat picking up two with the Sound Barrier, keeping them alive just a little bit longer, allowing for them to bring this point back. Abusement Park looking pretty good right now, possibly going to get to 60% here.
And what a waste that Earth Shatter was. It was definitely a good thing for Abusement Spark. With that being said, Dice using his sights. Will he get some picks?
Yeah, we'll have to see what Dice can do here, but right now, Volatile eSports standing back a bit, and he might have just been losing his chance, and he definitely has. He's gonna have to find another way to get in here, but right now that infra sight not quite working all the way in their favor, although we do know that Volatile has played a bit safer, but now Big Boy coming in with the Transcendence, allowing a lot of space for them to get onto the point there, and trying to see if Nibble can really do much. But here's the super, there we have it, another grab that is being comboed with the Dragon Strike. However, the Dragon Strike only picked up one, make that two on Sky, not allowing anything more. However, Abusement Park still winning the fight, Annihilator and Dice winning it with just that duo.
And I'm immersive, I mean, getting on the point, but gets grabbed by a Teenator. Not sure what that was about, but definitely. Oh yeah, it looks like they're going moving on.
Yeah, they're just trying to stall it during overtime, especially with that changeover to the Tracer. But I don't know if they're going to be able to get it for that long. Chico also switching over to the Genji, so they can just quickly dash in by Glovebox, just picking up some more kills. Sky picking people up again. And KNF and Chico just trying to brawl the point, keep it alive. That res onto Meteoroid is extremely important for them to keep this dream alive. Can they bring it back? There's a Pulse Bomb, doesn't pick up anything though, and they're still keeping it. Abusement Park looking pretty good right now, no issues at all, and Dice closing things up for them.
And looks like the first round is gonna go to Abusement Park. Okay, let's talk about what went wrong there. What do you think went wrong?
I think that there wasn't enough pressure coming in to keep the point there. Abusement Park did use their ultimates very nicely when they needed to, but I don't think that there was enough pressure on the from the defense coming in from Volatile eSports. So living up to their name there, bit volatile, but you'll have to see in this map.
Yeah, and you're definitely right about that. I thought that Abusement Spark had definitely better ult economy and just knew how to combo it well. Well, Volatile was just using ultimates randomly, a random shatter, and just lose ultimates. Like, you do not shatter when you're the only one alive on the point, am I right?
Yeah, I think that's a bit of synergy that they probably just need to work on as a team. Found out exactly where the rest of their teammates are at all times. And that's something that a lot of teams struggle with. So looking very good from Abusement Park right now. Rolling on the points already, and Dice picking up those headshots that they really need. Taking out Zenyatta this early is extremely useful for them. But Niffle and Meteoroid are just keeping things together on this point. Enough healing coming from I Am a Mercy main. And KNF picking up the Annihilator, using up that Resurrection is also very good for them right now. can see Chico just having to get back to the back line, but Dice deals with him as soon as possible. Meteoroid's looking pretty damaged, but keeps it alive for a little bit longer. They're looking a lot better here. Volatile seems to be bringing this one back, and it's a bit more on their side right now.
And as you are saying that Chico can pick on Keith, but gets shut down. Gets shut down by Dice, and Glovebox gonna get 3 kills in a row with 1.
Yeah, Glovebox turning that fight around completely with his team. It's fantastic seeing his support get that much on the kill cam, and Dice with such a sweet headshot onto KNF.
Ooh, and Dice, can we talk about Dice? Dice and his headshots. He's been focusing primarily the supports at first, and after that, he just picks off the rest of the team. Dice is doing a great job here on the team of Abusement Park.
Yeah, Dice definitely not only opening up a lot of space because of Volatile having to watch out for them, but quite a lot of picks being taken off by Dice as well.
And I believe I'm a Mercy Main is asking for a pause here, and there you go.
There's the pause. Oh, but now, whilst this is paused, if we just look at the current ultimate economy right now, what can you tell me about it?
Well, let's look about 73% on Wig Boy, Chico with 80%. Well, I would say the ult economy is pretty equal right now. 4 ults completely coming up from on both sides, I would say. So we're definitely gonna see some intense team fights soon after we unpause. But I see that on the side of Violet, Mercy Main is having some ping issues. So we'll see how long that takes.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too long, because I'm sure I'm a Mercy Main cannot wait to use up the Valkyrie right now. Especially with the Primal Rage ready from Meteoroid, is going to be extremely strong. Abusement Park might just have trouble killing them. However, they do have the Earth Shatter and the Dragon Strike. That applies a lot of damage onto the team if they can add the Earth Shatter. But are they going to be able to do it?
And there's the unpause, and as you said, that Mercy Main popping out her Valkyrie, you're definitely right about that.
Yeah, but Meteor getting charged as soon as he uses up that Primal Rage, but it's working for them, allowing space for KNF and Niffle to completely pop off, taking out 2 of Abusement Park's players, and Chico picking up the last one for them to keep this point. They're currently down by about 60%. They still have a lot to go, and now there are 3 ultimates coming up in Abusement Park.
And 3 ultimates on the other side too. Glovebox getting his sound very, there you go, he got it. I think we're gonna see a team fight here quickly.
Wow, but having 2 of them go down, this allows them far too much pressure. I find it surprising that Dice popped that infra site, but it did allow for quite a lot. Here's a self-destruct coming in from side of Volatile, and only picks up Sky, which puts them off of the res. This is pretty good for Volatile, but having only 2 players on the point right now, they're not going to be lasting very long, but at least delaying the inevitable, and Dice picking up KNF before KNF can do anything during that brawl. Dice making sure.
Yeah, and another flip on of the point to Abusement Park, and I gotta say, Dice on that Widowmaker is scary. I wouldn't like to face him. Let's talk about the ult economies. It's definitely in Abusement Park favor. Like I said, they just know they have a great ult economy, and it's still they managed to flip the point with only 1 ult. Actually, one and a half, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, they still have 3 ults. That's insane. Well, yeah. Violet still.
And here's the grab, as you've been speaking about it. And there's the Dragon Strike as well. But can it pick anyone up? It doesn't. There's enough healing on Niffle as well as Meteoroid, but they end up going down anyways. Meteoroid trying to keep it there, but the res comes out on Niffle. There's an Earth Strike coming in from Abusement Park. Can they keep it together? But not quite a combo coming off of that one. They seem to be falling apart, but right now the teams are actually pretty even. No, I take that back. Keith and Sky keeping things together and just dealing with Volatile. Here's overtime, and I think they've already got this.
And it looks like the first point on Elias is going to Abusement Park. GG. What a game.
What a game indeed. Coming out all guns blazing from the very beginning.
And
An
let's
Abusement
watch
Park.
let's watch this play of the game.
I like that swinging in the grab there, Roy doing a lot of work, but sadly they weren't able to take that point in the end.
Yeah, in the end it wasn't enough, but they tried their best. So GG. What can I else say than GG?
GG indeed. Just looking at that card there, 28 eliminations for DICE in that match.
That's a lot. Like I said, I find Dice a little scary. I wouldn't like to face him. I myself, I do not have any aim. So if I play Widowmaker, I do not understand how people do it. Right? I don't.
I'm in the same boat
mean?
as you. My aim is absolutely horrendous. That's why I stick over to the tanky characters or the healers. But Dice definitely knows a thing or two, and KNF definitely giving him a run for his money, but Dice not allowing him any further there.
Mhm.
And another one there, Drunk Soup on the Farah, just on that first point. I think that was one of the keys to victory that they had there on the
Yes,
first point.
you're definitely right about
Yes.
that. Yeah. Do you know what they say about no aim?
What did they say about no aim?
No aim, no brain. I'm a mercy main. I'm kidding.
I think that's very fitting for Volatile eSports here with I'm a Mercy main in the support slot. You don't need to aim if your team is doing it for you. But moving over to more important things, Watchpoint Gibraltar over here. This is the escort map for the chosen maps of this leg. So this is quite an interesting one. I mean, we could see a pirate ship come out. I'm not too sure what these teams prefer to play. We could possibly see a dive as well, or a bit of a death ball. What do you think we'll be seeing from what we've seen of these teams so far?
Oh, good question. Well, to be honest, they could. I expect anything from the side of Abusement Spark. Maybe some cheeky stuff. Maybe they're a little bit confident that they will just won last round pretty easily. Maybe we'll see some cheeky stuff. Maybe they're gonna try something fun. I don't know about Violet. I think they stick to a more conservative meta, something they're familiar with. I would love to see Chico on Navara, but I don't think he's gonna do it in this map.
Yeah, it's something I'll have to see. It's a bit difficult to tell after one map, and I know that asking that question is a bit tough. But what I would like to see, I'd love to see a tank trip support coming out with a Brigitte, a bit of a hard push into this choke here, because once you're in the choke here with that composition, you can deal a lot of damage, and your team can be kept alive for a very long time. But it really depends. Seeing on the defense side, because they can't change the characters, so we won't have any trolling. See Chico once again on the Genji, definitely his comfort pick. There's Niffle on the Brigitte. As I mentioned, I was thinking more on attack, so it's been interesting seeing the Brigitte on the defense there. But I like the Roadhog Orisa coming through. I think this is a lot of damage potential for their team.
Yeah, that's certainly a lot of damage potential, especially with Big Boy on Zenyatta with that Discord. That's gonna definitely do some work. Dice, we see on the other side, we see Dice on the Widowmaker again on attack. Not sure about Drunk Soup being on May. Maybe he'll stick to it, but the rest of the team, no. There you go. The rest of the team seem pretty divey. Yeah.
Yeah, we just have to see how it pans out here. Because there is quite a bit of a distance before they get onto the point. Brigitte playing very close, probably hoping for that position to work for them, but with the D.Va and the Winston on the front lines, are they going to be able to deal with it as hard as they need to? And there we have it. There we go, there's the dive tanks moving in here, but I don't think they realize that the whole 6 stack is there. And we get a hook onto the Annihilator, and down he goes with the point. Keeps on going. I think on Volatile eSports, they want them to go into that choke so that they can jump down and win the fight here. And there they go, moving down. Niffle wanting to move to the front, hoping to get the stuns, but actually just playing a bit passive here. Causing for Abusement Park to back off.
Yeah, and Abusement Park is definitely knowing what they're doing now, because they knew, okay, we're not gonna win. Let's back off. That's great shot calling from them. I didn't expect that. Did you?
Not at all. I expected for them to run it a bit more, but you can see that this is quite an experienced team. I sort of point out Chico deflecting Dice's shot, and Dice coming back with the revenge shot. And this might give them a shot because Macieroid going down as well from Dice. This is 2 of them down. Make that 3. They're going to be able to get back on this point and push it a little bit further. And Dice just throwing out shots so quickly.
When Drunken Soup with a double kill and finishes off a Mercy main. I'm a little bit bamboozled. Like Abusement Spark knows exactly what they need to do, when to go in, when to back off, when to do everything right now. But
Yeah,
it
they're
isn't.
definitely playing the patient game here, making sure that they can only win fights. Going into fights, they can only win. However, Drunk Soup a bit out of position there. Even though they managed to get the point to the position they needed to get it to, they are losing quite a lot of players here over on Abusement Park's side.
And as they're moving on to the slowly approaching the next checkpoint, we see a nerf coming out.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh.
Self-Destruct actually picks up Niffle there, gets caught on the bridge across the top there, but still picks someone up. That's quite impressive. I didn't expect that. This cart is going very far. A Dragon Strike directly onto Meteoroid, making him go down. Another hook on Structy, but it doesn't quite land. IR Big Boy trying to do some damage from up there, but just the dive from Keith, not allowing him anymore. And KNF's Whole Hog doesn't do too much. Chico left on his own. Niffle seems to just disconnected from the game here.
And looks like that we have a little pause over here, and as we can, with this pause, we can see a nice resurrect from Mercy Main coming up. Oh, he and as we can read in the chat, we see that he's yeah,
PC crashed.
PC crashed indeed.
Oh,
and just
that's
an exciting moment because he had his ultimate. He had his ultimate.
No.
They actually had 5 ultimates right there. So always yeah, that's a loss of ultimate.
Yeah, that's always unpleasant, losing your ultimate due to a technical fault, but maybe they can bring this one back even with this disconnect. Something like this is always disheartening, but it's not the end for any team, especially when they're playing at this level.
Yes, you're especially right about that. But we'll see what Niffle needs to do. I'm wondering if he was gonna stay on the Vegeta because it wasn't working out. Maybe when he connects back, he will move on to an actual DPS, I guess. I mean, Vegeta is a DPS in a sense. Depends how you swing your mace, am I right?
It really does. Some people are a lot more aggressive on the Brigitte compared to others. However, I do feel that Brigitte relies quite a lot on rally in a team composition such as this, especially when the cart is pushed this far forward. We probably will see a bit more of impactful hero choice coming in that doesn't lean on the ultimate so much. However, I do feel Brigitte could still work here. It's just going to be a lot weaker going into this fight.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to be a lot harder if they get.
And just looking at the ultimates over at Abusement Park side, Glovebox ready with the Transcendence, and Keith also ready on that Primal Rage. That is a lot of health coming into the team fight if they can pull it off together. Just the equivalent health from both those ultimates being used can nullify a lot of attacks, especially with Chico coming in as well as Meteoroid's Supercharger being used with Chico's Dragon Blade. That's going to be quite a difficult one for them to deal with, but that just might be the combination they need. Keith can also keep Chico off of their team quite nicely too. Have we heard anything more from the players coming forward here? Looks like we've received another DC. It has been my color caster. Toadette should be back shortly. A bit of a shame having these technical issues here, but that is the nature of esports. Of course, we do rely on technology more so than other sports. But I mean, in other sports, players can be hurt, and they're going to have to take advantage there. So hopefully Toadette will be joining us shortly. But until then, I will keep all of you company for the rest of this match here. As we can see, just from the pause here, another thing to point out is where the ultimates are and who's currently down. Having Chico, Ira Big Boy, and KNF down means that there's only 2 people alive right now, with Niffle currently disconnected and coming back into the game. That means that they're going to have to back off, but we can already see I'm a Mercy main is currently trying to get a resurrection onto KNF. This is very dangerous. I'm a Mercy main can be picked off before getting that res or right afterwards, and possibly if KNF does get res, he's also just going to go down. The best situation here is for I'm a Mercy main just to back off, but we'll be seeing what's happening right now. And I'm a Mercy main, they manages to get the res, and KNF just trying to stagger that point a little bit longer. I'm a Mercy main goes down already, and KNF tries to keep it together but doesn't quite manage to. As expected, that is a 6v1 with I'm a Mercy main going down. But now Volatile eSports bringing things back together. Niffle has swapped over to the Reinhardt. They're going triple tank here. Not much DPS, but I'm a Mercy main swapping over to the Moira, betraying their own name. But that might just be very needed for this fight. Here, Drunk Soup looking for a better position with his dive tanks here, going into the backline. Not quite finding it. Chico peeking there, finding something he does not want to see, but definitely a lot to communicate with his teammates here. Although it doesn't look like they were ready for that at all. However, the dive did not work either. Niffle knocking the Annihilator out of him. Here's the Dragon Strike directly into the Transcendence. Niffle KNF keeping things together, but Dice picking up I'm a Mercy main allows for them to keep it together a little bit longer. Volatile eSports are able to push things back a little bit more. A charge comes in from Niffle, doesn't manage to connect though, which is a bit of a shame. Chico still looking to get a kill onto Sky, but not quite able to. And Dice closes the door for Chico. Can they bring this one back right now? Because the spawn advantage is definitely on Volatile eSports side. But it seems like there we go, having that Valkyrie comes out. It is very good for them. Supercharger as well for the Orisa over at Volatile eSports. Abusement Park jumping in with the Primal Rage, hoping to get some more, but not quite able to do it. They're actually getting them to back off, but here's a self-destruct. Can pick up more like the last one. Once again, connects to the bridge. This is the unluckiest D.Va I have ever seen in a match. It's not what you want to see, but Earthshatter comes down for Volatility, charges right back, but ends up going down anyways. I'm a Mercy main, switching over to the Moira, not giving them that resurrection anymore. It's not going to be as easy for them to work with this. But can it be brought back by Abusement Park? They do have 3 minutes 20 seconds. That's going to equate to about 4 or 5 pushes still to go, depending on how long the fight lasts. And judging from these teams, those fights can last pretty long. Having our Big Boy and I'm a Mercy main using the Lucio Moira combination right now gives them a ton of health, especially with the bullet sponge that is Roadhog with KNF on that. And there we go, Coalescence coming up, but a Dragon Strike taking out Ira Big Boy, not allowing them to use up the potential of a Transcendence, although it's quite far away. Let's see what they can do. Here's Whole Hog coming up from KNF, just trying to keep them off of it. They know that they're down on support, they have to keep up that spacing. And Meteoroid takes out Drunken Soup. That's pretty nice coming in for Volatile eSports, keeping him off the points. Yeah, it's best for them to just reset here, but from what we can see, of course, they are not completely aware of this. There are no ultimates currently on Volatile eSports side. However, Abusement Park does have Glove Box with Transcendence. Sky is going to be having this Valkyrie any second now, and Keith as well with the Earthshatter. If he can win the fight, no! KNF takes him down, and there's a reverse Earthshatter from Niffle, hoping to get some more Chico, only picking up Drunk Soup, but it's enough to keep the fight back, and now they're down to 2 minutes. They're not going to be able to get that many pushes out of these 2 minutes, especially because this fight is still going instead of them just resetting. They're looking to get a little bit greedy here. Of course, Volatile eSports is a bit forward with their positioning. If they're able to get a pick here for Abusement Park, it's going to be very good moving forward to the next fight, but not quite. Keith trying to just get through these shields so he can use up his Earth Shatter, but here we have it. Glove box, use their Transcendence, Earth Shatter comes up, and not enough comes out of it. I'm a Mercyman taking out Dice's Riptire right now. This fight is in all directions, and there are so many fights going on at the same time. But right now, Abusement Park just slowly but surely whittling down Volatile eSports. They're managed to push the cards a little bit further forward. Volatile needs to group up together again. They do have spawn advantage, but can they keep it going any bit longer? Right now, there are 6 on the point for Abusement Park right now. Meteoroid trying to take out their Annihilator, and he managed to take Meteoroid down instead. Chico's trying to do some stuff. There's an Earth Shatter picking up 3 on the ground, but the grab coming out. Our big boy using up the Transcendence very nicely. And there's another Riptire, but Dice this time picking up I'm a Mercyman, not allowing much more from them. Even a charge from Meteoroid is not enough. And Abusement Park take it forward to 3 points on Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
Switching sides now, we will be seeing Volatile eSports on the attack. Can they match the 3 points on Watchpoint Gibraltar's first round to what Abusement Park managed to get? We'll have to see, but I like the composition Abusement Park used. Are they going to use a similar one, getting that dive to push things forward and move that payload as much as possible? Or are we going to see a bit more of a reserved type of style coming from them, as we've seen before and as we saw this round? But once again, even on the defense, Dice selecting Jesus Widowmaker, going with a double sniper comp here with Drunk Soup back on the Hanzo, doing a lot of work on that Hanzo as well. Keith and the Annihilator sticking to their dive composition here with the Winston and the Diva. I quite like that one coming through. Sky not wanting to move off the Mercy whatsoever. It works for them, and there's no reason for them to swap out. Glove Box also same situation, sticking on that Zen. White on Rice working for them. That Transcendence is invaluable in these current metas, but we see a bit of a pirate ship coming in from Volatile eSports. This is quite exciting because, of course, having Watchpoint Gibraltar be an escort map, they're going to be on the payload from the very beginning. Here we are, 5 seconds before the doors open. Dice is going to be looking for some dicey kills, excuse the pun. Moving in just a defense matrix right off the start. We see Meteoroid trying to use that orb to try pull them off there, but it's not quite working for them. The best thing here is having the dive composition to dive onto the Bastion, but it's not quite working for them here. Dice also not picking anyone up. Niffle is the first one getting first blood onto Drunk Soup. Chico moving forward with that Doomfist, but getting knocked off the point, and so is Niffle. Annihilator Keith knocking them both off the map. That is almost unheard of in Gibraltar. Extremely exciting, but this point is moving. KNF on the Bastion, just swapping positions a bit, trying to get as much damage as possible. Annihilator knocked off there, but KNF has gone down due to Glove Box's orbs. And this is looking pretty good for them right now. Abusement Park bringing it back, using their namesake, and right now, that is not the park that Volatile eSports wanted to walk into.
No one can hide from my sight.
Here we have Dice, definitely one to watch here. Having that infra sight out, going to be looking for as many picks as possible, but those shields are proving a big issue for Dice right now. There's no dash currently on the Annihilator. However, there we go, it comes up, knocks Dice off. You have to take this a bit safer, especially seeing as Valkyrie has come out from Abusement Park. Coalescence coming in from Volatile eSports. Can they keep it together? There's a Dragon Strike from Abusement, and Drunk Soup managed to take out Chico in the trades there. They're taking things back once again. Volatile eSports having to probably back out here. They still have 2 minutes on the clock. This is not looking very good for them right now. And Abusement Park keeping things together. I'm a Mercy Main swapping over to the Brigitte. But can Drunk Soup take her out? Not quite. There we go, Rally. They're sticking together. The Rally comes out, gives them that persistent armor. But oh, what is that? That's a self-destruct deep in there. Doesn't get anyone though. The shields are too much from Niffle and I'm a Mercy Main. And I'm surprised they didn't decide to dive into the back of that because the shields would have been to their back. Drugstube takes out Niffle. And they're going to be trying to take it a bit further, but still, Abusement Park looking pretty good on the point right now. Having another ult in Keith and Glovebox to keep things alive once again. There's probably only going to be 1.5 pushes left for Volatile eSports here. I or Big Boy just trying to get out of here as soon as possible. But Keith wants to chase him down. That cooldown is lasting. There we go. Possibly getting out of there, but not looking very good with the Discord Orb. Not at all. Keith gets pulled in from K&F's hook and Niffle. Where did you come from? Just charging out of there, hoping to stay alive. And there we have it. Dice with another infrasight. That audio cue is music to my ears. And there we go. A fantastic double headshot onto I'm a Mercy Main, taking them out, as well as another one onto Chico with Drunk Soup. The point is moving, but it's not going to be enough. Coalescence from Big Boy, but there's only 3 of them alive. They know that this is their last push right now. That Dragon Strike was not on point. Drunk Soup could have done better there, but probably knocked off in a bit of a way there. KNF keeping it together on the point, trying to deal with Keith right now. There's another self-destruct, and doesn't picks up KNF. He was already looking pretty dead there. And Chico, last one on the point there with Big Boy. I don't think they can bring this one back at all. 20 seconds after the clock, but look, their team is still going for it. Majoroid is back up. They just backed off in time for them to get another reset. KNF has the whole hog. They can stop them from contesting the point quite well here, but Drunk Soup also with the Dragon Strike again. He just used one, and here it comes out directly onto Volatile eSports. Picks up 2 with Keith on top of them, allowing for them to just get so many off. KNF using that whole hog, but ends up getting taken down in no time. And there's an Earth Shatter coming in from Drunk Soup. Not from Drunk Soup, that is an Earth Shatter from Nipple, not doing enough. And here we have Gibraltar going in quite the nice margin for Abusement Park. Keeping it together against Volatile eSports. Dice playing very, very well there. But Keith picking up the play of the game on the Reinhardt with a bit of a lifesaver flare. Oh, that shield play was fantastic. You could see that Niffle was just expecting for that shield to be broken in no time. Oh wow, fantastic. Fantastic play from Niffle. Of course, in this format, teams must play all 3 maps regardless of it going to... Regardless of 2 maps being taken out in 3 maps. They need to play the third 4 points because hopefully Volatile eSports can bring it back and move forward with the points here on the leaderboards. Sky just restarting their Overwatch and possibly their PC here, just to make sure that we don't have any more hiccups. Of course, we did see quite the hiccup coming out from Volatile. I'm sure that Abusement Park being ahead here, they don't want that happening again to themselves. Of course, the next map is King's Row. I would say it's pretty much a community favorite map, regardless of which Overwatch community you are going to be on. King's Row, so many different long sidelines. Of course, it being a hybrid map, it gives you a bit of both from the capture point maps and the escort maps, which is fantastic. Very good for Widowmakers, especially at the start there, and on moving to the second choke there as well, allowing for them to get a lot of verticality so they can find those headshots even past the Reinhardt shield, which is fantastic to watch as well. There's often quite a lot of Widowmaker duels there. We do see very fast moving comps coming out as well, with death balls, trying to get onto the point as soon as possible, possibly take the opposing team from the back line, which allows them a lot of space for the rest of the team to move in through the front, kind of give them a bit of a pincer attack to deal with things. So really, this depends on what the attackers are going to be putting forward against the defense. Defense, of course, here can also change quite a lot. I mean, you get some spicy Bastion picks coming through, but most of the time you're going to see quite a hunkered down team trying to keep the point together. Definitely Widowmaker, possibly double snipers on both sides with the Hanzo Widowmaker, especially with Hanzo being so powerful at his damage output right now with the storm arrows. But here we have it, teams are readying up, and of course it's much better for the teams to dictate what is going to be happening on King's Row than for me to do it. So let's see what they decide to do. So loaded into King's Row now. If you just look at the amount of verticality on this map, moving towards the red bus here, this is the entrance for the attackers. They get to move in through the choke here with the lanterns on either sides of the wall here towards the Omnic statue over there, and they're going to have to take a left here onto the point where this black vehicle is. A lot of people over here on the left, there's a hotel, and they actually try to go through the Elder Hotel just to go through to get to the back here onto the point and kind of take the team by surprise. Often teams are expecting this, but still having to move their backline around from their initial defense of the sight lines that you get from the attackers can prove a bit difficult, especially if you're playing shield tanks like Orisa. And over here we can see straight away Volatile eSports with the Orisa and the Reinhardt here. Lots of shields on their team. They're trying to nullify as much damage as possible. On their healing, I'm a Mercy main opting for the Moira, and I are a big boy on the Lucio for the speed buff here. They are going Trip Tank. KNF also on the Roadhog. Did a lot of work on it in the previous maps, but interesting to see such a low damage output from there with only Niffle on the Hanzo. Of course, we did see Chico previously play DPS here, so it's a bit of a role swap. Hopefully they can deal with the onslaught that could be coming in from Dice on the Widowmaker, Drunk Soup, moving on the Hanzo and Glovebox. It's going to be doing a lot of damage from Doomfist. Never mind swapping off to the Zenyatta just to make sure they can keep themselves alive here. And straight away, they're holding quite far back, playing quite a patient game. And here we have it, Keith, as well as the Inhalator, moving into the Ainsworth Intel. Alderworth Hotel, hoping to get some things here. Drunk Soup with the Storm Arrows just shattering down that shield, but it comes right back up for Dice. There, KNF gets a pull onto Keith, but can they actually deal with him? Charge, just trying to keep him alive here, hoping to possibly pick up the Moira, and Chico goes with a reverse charge there. Nashiro and KNF picking up the kills though, and allowing for them to keep this point quite a bit longer. I think we're going to have to see a different style of attack coming in from Abusement Parks. Moira playing very aggressively over at Volatile, using those damage orbs just to get some ultimate charge up, wants to get the coalescence as soon as possible. And here we have Dice switching over from the Widowmaker, knowing that there are so many shields, switching over to the Brigitte. They're all running together here. Glovebox staying very far in the back line, and here we have a big brawl on point, but they end up taking down the shield of Keith, opening up the Abusement Park's defenses completely for Volatile eSports to move in here, and they're just destroying completely here. having to back off here. Sky being taken down there, having to run back as well as the Annihilator. They could just run back into this as fast as possible. Here, Dragon Strike for Volatile, moving on to Keith as well as Dice, but not picking up either. There's a lot of charges on the Annihilator right now, and a lot more as well, but Chico takes him down. There's Earth Shadow! 5 of their team back on Keith! Can they keep it together any longer? Coalescence coming out from Volatile, moving forward over with the Valkyrie damage buff. Take that away, that is the Supercharger damage buff from the Orisa. Just moving in there, not allowing for Abusement Park to do anything there. This is looking very good. Over Volatile eSports, a lot better than their previous maps here. Usually King's Rose Point goes by pretty quickly initially. There's the grab coming out. Can they keep it together? I heard a Riptire, but does it gonna do anything? Not at all. There is no Riptire. Just a little strange audio cue. Can they keep it together? Glove box, use Transcendence, KNF's hook gets nullified due to that, and they cannot deal with this whole. Even though what is the combo coming through from Volatile? That is an Earth Shatter from the gods, but the Dragon Strike doesn't pick anyone up. Dice, even though being knocked down, the rally continues. Does not stop the backpack kit from the Brigitte, and that persistent armor kept their team alive through that absolutely fantastic combo from Volatile that just didn't quite work. Oh, that is such a shame for them. Now the payload is going to be continuing for another 3 minutes, allowing for Abusement Park to solidify their power that we've seen in the previous 2 maps here. And they're kind of pushing extremely far forward, hoping to get as much as possible. They're not going to end up going down whilst on full charge. That is not what they want at all, and they move forward. However, Keith's shield completely nullifying that Earth Shatter, stopping them in their tracks, but they decide to move forward regardless. Right now, Ultimate Economy very much in the favor of Abusement Park. Drunk Soup and Keith in with very strong CC ultimates, but having Glove Box go down there, even though it's Transcendence up, it's going to be difficult for them to move forward here. And right now, time is ticking, friends. There's Dragon Strike coming in from Niffle, not actually picking up the Annihilator, allowing for them to take out their sole DPS. They're going to have a lot of trouble taking down their team, and I'm not too sure they're aware of that. Shield goes down for Keith. This is not going to be allowing them a lot of defense, but I'm not too sure that Volatile is too aware of him losing that shield. And they seem to be playing quite safe here. And here we go, Rally as well as the Transcendence, quite overkill, but it's definitely worked for them. Whole Hog as well from Drunk Soup. Why are there so many ultimates being expended here? Completely swinging the Ultimate Economy favor into the hands of Volatile eSports. If Chico can land this Earth Shatter, I don't think they're going to be able to last very long. However, the Earth Shatter is landed by Keith. Dice follows up onto KNF with the stun, not allowing for him to be alive much longer, and Chico going down shortly after. There's a grab. They're just continuing this onslaught. They were backing off, guys. You didn't need to use that one, but still. Fantastic coming from them, just cementing their authority here against Volatile.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Their Dragon Strike from Niffle directly onto the payload. However, that did not stop it from moving at all. Drunk Soup went down, but the Annihilator still on the front of it, and the rest of the team for Volatile for them to kind of pressurize Abusement Park in that split up. But right now, this brawl is just going with barely any kills. Something is going to change very soon, especially with the Annihilator very out of position there. Which is not too good for them going forward. And a big pull onto Drunk Soup, allowing for Niffle to pick him up there. Abusement Park not looking as good as they used to on the previous 2 points. Volatile bringing things back quite nicely. A minute and a half left on the points here. There's Rally, but Coalescence trying to shred down that armor, but we also have Whole Hog coming in from KNF, which is working wonders for Volatile eSports, picking up Keith. There's an Earth Shadow, very cheeky from Chico, moving in through the back. Another hook for KNF as well, pick up the Annihilator. And Volatile are looking so good right now. There's probably going to be only one more push left for Abusement Park. There's the Dragon Strike from Niffle once again. Probably a bit too far forward. I think they expected for them to be moving forward already from Abusement Park. Possibly need to scout that one out next time, guys. And here, a lot of pressure coming from the split push here. And there's a grab as well as the Transcendence. Are they going to be able to do this? But the sound barrier from Volatile trying to keep them alive, but it doesn't quite work. Chico very out of position there. And they're going to get a free push here. Meteoroid, the only one with an ultimate left here. And Niffle goes down shortly after. Sadly, Sky's pistol as well on top of things. There's quite a bit of poking happening here. Surprised not to see a Pharah pick at all from either team here. Valkyrie coming out from Sky. And Rally as well from DICE. KNF just going balls to the walls with that Whole Hog and allowing for DICE to just push the payload a little bit further. Just those few points and meters there is going to work wonders for them. Of course, only 10 seconds left here. There's no way they can keep these points alive. And there we have it. Only 2 points. 64.39 meters. Round 1 complete. I must say this definitely favors the side of Volatile eSports now. If they can push it to 3 points, they will be taking the win here, which at least sets them back to 0 with the match points here, getting 1 up and 1 down. Okay, so on the defense right now, Keith opting for the Orisa play, the Annihilator choosing the Diva there, probably to use defense matrix in their favor. DICE and Drunk Soup back to the DPS here. Drunk Soup over on the Pharah, which is lovely seeing with Sky. They get that combination of the Far Mercy and DICE once again on the Widowmaker. Would I expect anything less from this legend of a scope player? Playing that hit scan the way it should be. Moving over to what we can see so far on Volatile eSport. Meteoroid moving over to the DPS role from the tank role with the Genji pick. Interesting not seeing Chico choose the DPS right now. Instead opting for the Zarya. KNF on the Roadhog. They don't have any shields on their team at the moment. So this could be quite easy pickings for DICE moving forward. However, it is a bit difficult to find these hits in this map. But DICE is sure as hell going to try. Meteoroid switching over to the Reinhardt. That's all of them moving into the side here, into the hotel. But they decide to actually split it up and go forward, hoping for a bit of change of position from Abusement Parks, and not quite getting it, which is great. Moving forward, allowing for all of them to land onto the point. Kanan picking up glove box really denies quite a lot of healing for Abusement Parks, and Chico taking up the Annihilator out of that mech as soon as possible. Zarya very good at doing that. DICE, the only one left here, picking up Chico, but it's not enough at all. And Sky going down as well. DICE is trying to delay things, but knowing that he's going down shortly. This is looking very good for Volatile right now. And I can see that King's Row might just be their type of map, probably better on the hybrids than the King of the Hills and the Escort maps. Here we go, lots of damage from Pharaoh. Drunken's allowing for things to be moved forward here. Niffle working that Brigitte with wonders, but Meteoroid going down opens up their team completely for a big push from Abusement Park, but they decide not to take it. Wait a second, Annihilator moving with a lot of charge, but Chico also has a ton of charge in that Zarya battery right now, and KNF has the whole hog, probably hoping to use it soon, but Niffle popping up with the rally, and the Coalescence coming out as well from Mercy Main. Can they do some work here? And yes, they can indeed, picking up 3 plays and carrying on the chase onto Glovebox. Glovebox just getting damage boosted here and not enough. Volatile, where was this teamwork and synergy in the previous 2 maps? Junksuit playing very far forward, but also ready with that rocket barrage. If Junksuit can find the right positioning, it's going to do a lot of work right now. And there we have an Earth Transformation, as well as a Nano Boost charging right map on the road, picking up Glovebox though, so there are 2 players down for Abusement Parks right now, but can they keep it together at all? It doesn't look like it. Volatile still coming out ahead, even after losing their main tank here. But taking out Glovebox in that situation, especially after Chance was used, is not very good for Abusement Parks. King's Row definitely favored. 5 minutes left on the clock. We do see a change to Reaper for Drunk Soup, hoping to move in there and get some picks that are needed. But really showing his head far too early there. And here we go, Gravitron comes down. There's a Riptide picking up 2. Chico and Niffle go down. Kainoff decides just to reset there. Jumping off the point, this could be the resurgence of Abusement Parks, but is it going to work against the amount of power and relentlessness we have seen come out from Volatile eSports? Chico's still trying to deal some damage here. There's the rally, getting the net possible. The rest of the team tries to get into that armor AoE as soon as possible as well. Drugsmith moving over to the top, but Coalescence and Grab is going to apply a lot of damage. Straight up to Keith, not falling off the map this time, asleep onto Drunk Soup, but another Reptile coming in from Dice, doesn't manage to pick up anyone. A fantastic shield coming in from Meteoroid. They're keeping this one together, but the spawn advantage is currently in Abusement Park's favor. Glovebox trying to get some damage in here from that Zenyatta. Here we have Valkyrie coming out, but Whole Hog keeping them off the point from KNF. They're not getting anywhere near this point just yet. The Annihilator over onto the point there. Valkyrie doing what Valkyrie can do. There's no shot from Meteoroid. Niffle picking up 2 and Mercy Main clearing up some more. IO Big Boy picking up Sky as well in the process. Very good from them moving forward. And the point is right there. And there you have it. Volatile eSports managing to take the 3rd map on King's Row, allowing for them to not take such a big hit from losing Gibraltar and Ilias just before this. And a well-deserved play of the game for over on the Whole Hog. Just comboing so nicely with this Graviton Surge. That is absolutely fantastic. Lovely to see that come through. Oh, and clears it up with taking out Meteoroid as well. The amount of space open in that push was fantastic, but they weren't actually able to push it all the way, even after such a big play. Well deserved to Volatile eSport. Definitely nicely played from them there. And just looking at what would have happened there, of course, 2 maps being won over to Abusement Parks definitely puts them up on the leaderboards. To my understanding, that should give them a +1, of course, with the -1 from the loss. And then seeing Volatile manage to get a win out of that Of course, they go down 2 points, but they're back up one, so it's only a -1 to their standings right now. Hopefully, they can bring it back. To my understanding, this is how they will be working, which is fantastic for them going forward. But really, this is good night from me. Thank you so much, everyone. Sorry about the technical difficulties with my code. It is a bit of a shame, but these things do happen. As I did say, esports, we do use equipment. We do rely on quite a lot of infrastructure. So when things do go down, sadly, this is what we get from it. But thank you so much for joining me, Toadette, and thank you so much to the team behind all of this, keeping this all together. It's been a fantastic night for Overwatch, and to both the teams, well played. Out of the 3 matches, Abusement Park coming out on top to Volatile tonight for your Overtime Champions match, EUPC Semi-Pro.